everybody. Welcome to Eastside Church's Kids Collective Digital Gathering. Today is the second Sunday in our Eunoia Beautiful Thinking series, and we are going to focus on the second fruit of the Spirit, which is joy. Last Sunday, we made our friendship bracelets, our Eunoia friendship bracelets, and I have enjoyed seeing so many of your beautiful faces, even if it's behind a mask at church when you came to pick them up, or if I dropped them off at your house and got to wave through a window or on the front porch. I've enjoyed seeing you guys, and I miss you so much. But we are going to focus today on joy. So please join me in our prayer, which is on the prayer card that was included in your kit. Let's take a deep breath. Victorious One, help me to find joy in you. God, you are the source of all good things. Even in tough times, help me to rejoice in your goodness. Now, I wonder, when did you experience joy today or spread joy to others? I wonder what you think joy means. To me, joy means the feeling that I get when I am so happy, or when I make someone else feel so happy. It's not just like, oh, that makes me happy, but you're so happy, you're just joyful. That's what it means to me. And I wonder if you have seen people that are joyful lately, or maybe you've seen people that don't feel joyful right now. And I wonder how maybe you can make them feel joyful and spread love and joy to them. That's ultimately what God's dream is. We did our dream quilt, and now we're going through the fruits of the Spirit, which is what God tells us in the Bible is what we should strive for. So what we should show others and what we should feel inside of our hearts as well. So we should show others love, joy. We should feel peaceful, faithful. We should be patient, we should be kind, we should be good, we should be gentle, and we should have self-control. And these bracelets are a reminder of that. We also today are going to be reading a wonderful book that a special friend who might be watching right now and his mommy told me about. And this book is called Maybe God is Like That Too by Jennifer Grant. And this book is all about the fruits of the Spirit, so stay tuned for that book. And then I have the godly play story for today is the parable of the sower. And we've heard this story, many of you have heard this story before. And to me, when I think about our stories from the Bible, I thought about joy, which is our theme for today or our topic. I thought that the sower, or remember that word kind of means gardener, probably felt really joyful when they got to reap all their harvest. So they planted the seeds, and then they got to come and they got barrels and barrels and bushels of either their fruit or their vegetable or their grain. And I bet that person felt very joyful when they got to do that. So we'll be listening to that story. And we have a quick little video from our garden at church that you all planted. Because when we have been going, so me and Kyler and Eli, as we've been home, we sometimes get to go to church to pick up our stories or our books. And every time we go, we see that there's something new that's blooming at our church. So we can't wait to show you what we found blooming at our church today. And we experienced joy from that, and we hope that you also experience joy. So we look forward to spending the rest of our time together as we talk about joy. Now is the time for our godly play story, the parable of the sower. And Eli said that he would have a lot of joy, experience a lot of joy by helping me tell the story. So here is our parable of the sower story.
And it kind of out sticks.
It's kind of made out of sticks. Yep, the box is wooden, similar to our doors. He noticed that when you knock, it sounds like we're knocking on a door. And sometimes parables can be a little tricky to understand, and we might feel like they're not opening to us. But if we continue to listen to this story and come back to them, we might learn something new. I have an idea. Let's open it up. What could this be? What color is this?
Brown.
Brown. What else is brown? What other things can you think of?
The box.
The box. The box is gold and has a little brown dot on it. What is brown outside?
The sky.
Is the sky brown or is the sky blue?
Sky is brown.
I think the sky might be blue and white. But maybe the opposite of the sky is brown. What's the opposite of the sky? The ground. And our dirt is brown. I wonder if that's what it could mean.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, he says. Okay. There once was somebody who knew so many things and was such a great person that people wanted to follow him. His name was
Jesus.
Jesus. And as the friends followed Jesus, they heard him talking about a kingdom. And not a kingdom with dragons and princesses, but a kingdom of goodness and kindness and taking care of others. And this beautiful, glorious kingdom. And it wasn't like any kingdom that they lived in, any kingdom that they'd ever visited before. And so they had to ask him, Jesus, what is this kingdom of heaven like? And Jesus, this one day, replied that the kingdom of heaven is like a sower. This is someone who plants seeds. We might call him a gardener or a farmer. And it's as if this sower scattered seeds across the ground. The dirt is below us. But as this gardener or the sower scattered seeds, what came, Eli? Can you hold him up for everyone to see? Birds flew from the sky. And they did what to all the seeds?
Eat them.
Eat them. That's like what our chickens do in our garden too. They eat all of our seeds. But that didn't get the gardener down. The gardener decided to continue to scatter seeds. But this time, the sower planted seeds on rocks. And as the seeds went down, they couldn't get far enough into the dirt. And when the sun came up, the sun scorched all of the seeds. So they were no good. Next, the sower decided to plant some seeds, but this time the gardener planted them in the thorns, and they only got about halfway down, and then the thorns gave them big boo-boos. So they were no good. Nothing grew. Next, the sower found some good dirt, good green land to plant some seeds. So the sower sowed some seeds all along it. And as the seeds pushed down into that good, healthy, composted, nice, nutritious dirt, wonderful things started to grow from it. This gardener was able to harvest or pick, right? Another word for pick, 10 bushels. So see these little bags? 10.
I want to do one too.
You want to get this one? 60. Show the camera. 60 and 100 bushels. He had grown so much. Now, I wonder, was the gardener experiencing joy when the birds ate all the seeds? What do y'all think? Was the gardener experiencing joy when the sun burned all of the seeds?
Yes.
You think he was the sower was happy when nothing grew?
No.
No. Was the sower happy and joyful
Yes.
when that person was able to harvest all of the bushels of fruits or vegetables or grain, whatever that person was sowing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot of joy from harvesting our kale and our blueberries and strawberries from our gardens. And I wonder if this sower also experienced joy. I wonder what this person's name could be.
Like Mama.
Like Mama?
Yes.
I wonder if the sower's name could be you.
No.
Do you plant seeds?
Yes.
Yes, so you're a sower. I wonder if the person's name could be you. Have you ever planted seeds? I wonder if you've ever experienced joy from planting seeds or growing flowers outside. I wonder if that brought you joy. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for when we get to harvest the fruits and vegetables from our Kids Collective Rooted and Grounded Garden up next.
Bye.
Hey everybody, we are at the garden at church on the playground, and we are going to be talking about joy today. And Eli feels a lot of joy because he's wearing a new baseball shirt that he got from his pops for his birthday. But we have some beautiful flowers that are bringing us joy in the community joy. So we wanted to show you guys what that looks like. And these are our sunflowers that the nursery planted. Look how tall, almost as tall as that tree right next to it. And if you look right here, the sunflower is about to open up. You can see it starting to get the yellow. And then we'll have one up there. And then look at this flower. Come on. Whoa. Look how beautiful. That's the size of my hand. Isn't that so pretty? And we're gonna have some more blooms. And then these are figs on our fig tree. So we're gonna have fruit pretty soon too. All right, we hope that this brought you joy also. Maybe God is Like That Too, written by Jennifer Grant and illustrated by Benjamin Shipper. I live in this city where the sidewalks and subway cars and buildings and buses are packed with people, but I've never seen God before. Grandma, does God live in the city? I asked one morning at breakfast. Yes, God is here, she says. You just need to know where to look. Wherever you see love, joy, and peace, God is there, she says, stirring her tea. Wherever there's patience, kindness, and goodness, God is there too. When you see faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, that's God's Spirit at work. On the way to school, I'm on the lookout. I see a bus full of tourists and count 10 bright yellow taxis. I spy a man sweeping a stoop, and Grandma and I laugh when we see a tiny dog wearing a fluffy purple sweater. At school, Grandma hands me my lunch and hugs me close before she says goodbye. That's what love looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. On the swings, I pump so hard I see over the wall and into the alley. My friends shout, "Higher, higher," as my feet fly way up into the sky. That's what joy looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. Outside, car horns blast and sirens scream, but my classroom is quiet and calm. That's what peace looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. I try to tie my shoes, but the laces tangle around my fingers. My teacher sits down beside me and shows me how to tie them. That's what patience looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. On the way home, I see a doorman wearing a red cape and a hat with a shiny brim. He's holding the door for a man using a wheelchair. The man moves very slowly, and the doorman chats with him and smiles. That's what kindness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. While I'm setting the table for dinner, there's a knock at the door. It's our neighbor from downstairs bringing us a loaf of bread. It's golden brown and warm and wrapped in a thin white towel. That's what goodness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. After dinner, I work on my homework while Grandma stands in the kitchen sink washing dishes and humming to herself, just like she does every single night. That's what faithfulness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. At bedtime, Grandma sits at the edge of my bed, singing me a lullaby and stroking my head. She tucks my blankets up close around me. That's what gentleness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. I lie in bed watching the curtains flutter. I want to talk about that dog we saw today and how high I can swing. But Grandma says that once I'm tucked in, I have to stay in my bed until morning. I close my eyes and try to fall asleep. That's what self-control looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. I saw God over and over again today. Whenever I saw love, joy, and peace, and wherever there was patience, kindness, and goodness. When I saw faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, I saw God's Spirit at work. I don't see God the way that I see my friends, or the streetlights, or the river, but I see signs of God's Spirit all around me, right here in the city. I know what God is like. Maybe I can be like that too.